please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live.
Hey everybody. So it's been since the middle of March that any NHL team has played a game, and it's likely going to be the middle of August or maybe even later before teams play again. So that is basically an entire off-season worth of time without hockey, without anything going on, and in between games for these teams. And while absolutely nobody has wanted that, nobody wanted the season to be shut down, nobody wanted really anything that's happened in the past few months to happen, it could kind of be a blessing in disguise for a few of these teams in the NHL who really were struggling at the point where the season stopped or had major injury issues, and now because of this time off will actually be in better shape. Either that bad momentum is broken or they've had, the injuries have healed and they're going to be a healthy roster again when the NHL does come back. For various different reasons, this could actually kind of help the team out and make them stronger for this 24-team return to hockey from the NHL, as opposed to where they were at in the middle of March when things did get shut down. So I want to talk about a few of those teams, starting with the Pittsburgh Penguins, because Pittsburgh was really struggling at the point of the season stoppage. They were 3-7-0 in their last 10 games. Jake Guentzel was still out with a major injury and going to be out for a long time with a major injury. And they were losing ground to Washington and Philadelphia. I don't think they were going to get caught. Carolina was still 5 points back. Columbus was still 5 points back. I don't know if they were going to get caught by anybody, but they were certainly not playing well. They were certainly losing ground to Philly and Washington. And overall, Pittsburgh was really struggling. Now the season got stopped. That bad momentum is broken because no momentum over this long of period of time is going to carry over, good or bad. So the teams that were hot, they're not really hot anymore. They're the teams that were really cold, like Pittsburgh and some others that I'll talk about. They're not really cold anymore. It's a complete reset. It's a complete start over with this much time between games. So, and Guentzel's going to be back, and that's going to be huge. Getting Jake Guentzel back is a massive addition to that top six, a huge goal-scoring addition, and Pittsburgh's going to be healthy again, and that is going to be a really good thing for the Pittsburgh Penguins. When you look at a healthy Penguins roster, they're a dangerous team, and that's a very good-looking roster. So I think Pittsburgh greatly benefited from having this stoppage, and now when they come back, they're going to be as strong as ever. Another team that was really struggling at the time when everything got shut down was the Dallas Stars, and this was a team that was fading fast in the Western Conference. They were 3-5-2 in their last 10 games. They were on a 3-game losing streak. They were 12 points behind St. Louis for first place in the Central, 10 points behind Colorado for second, and they were being caught by Winnipeg, who had played more games, but were only 2 points behind them at the time when everything stopped. And Nashville as well was only 4 points behind. So Dallas was slipping in the standings and really struggling. That stoppage might have came at the perfect time for the Dallas Stars, because now they get to hit that reset button. They get to start all over, and they're still one of the top 4 teams in the Western Conference. They get they don't have to play in a play-in round series. They get that to be part of the top seed round robin, and they get to that break could have really helped them as far as just stopping the bad momentum, stopping the losing, and just letting them hit that reset button, letting them breathe, and now they get to come back and maybe look like the Dallas Stars that were competing up there with St. Louis and Dallas in their, for a good portion of this season before that late season slide really started. So Dallas is an interesting team, but I really do think that they benefited from getting that stoppage and that time off. Moving back to the East, we got a couple more teams I want to talk about. The New York Islanders being first, who were 2-4-4 in their last 10 before the season stopped. New York was really struggling. This was a team that really, from the All-Star break on, did not look good. and they were fading fast. Fell out of a playoff spot, and I did not think that they were going to make the playoffs. I think they were getting passed by teams like they already had been passed by Carolina and Columbus. I think the Rangers even had a chance to finish ahead of them. I mean, things were going south for the New York Islanders. Now, stop, reset, get all that's gone. What happened back in February and March doesn't matter anymore. And they get a very winnable matchup in the play-in round against the Florida Panthers, who are a team that really kind of disappointed again this year and probably wasn't going to make the playoffs under normal circumstances. The Islanders get to play them now, and I think have a good chance of winning that series. So this really, I think, helped the Islanders in just that breaking that bad momentum and getting them a chance to just kind of hit that reset button, get a fresh start, and get back on track. And I think they have a chance to do that. The other team from the East is the Columbus Blue Jackets, and this was more of an injury thing than a playing bad thing. Columbus wasn't playing particularly bad, but they had major injuries. A lot of players out of the lineup, and now we're gonna see a predominantly healthy Blue Jackets lineup coming back in this 2014 format. And I think they could be a dangerous, sneaky team that could pull off again something sort of like they did last year, where they could potentially make a run. Now, I'm not picking them to do that, but we know Merzlikins was incredible this year. Korpisalo was pretty good as well when he was healthy. That defense, Columbus's defense, is unbelievable. I mean, really, they've got 7 or 8 quality defensemen. They're very deep on the back end, and the issue with this team is scoring. They don't have a lot of scoring, but they're going to be healthy. They get a lot of players back from injury. They could potentially have Josh Anderson back. That would be huge. Cam Atkinson has been given a chance now to really heal up. He had a really rough year this year. Maybe he gets back to being that 30, 35 goal scorer type guy when the league does come back, because he's had time to heal up and get healthy and get rested. He's a huge piece of that offense. Alexander Texier should be back. I mean, this team now that they're healthy, might be a little bit better than we originally thought. And they could be a team that could make a sneaky run. But just from a health standpoint, I think this stoppage has really helped the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then the last team I want to talk about is the Vancouver Canucks, who were slipping in the standings for sure at the time of the stoppage. They were slipping in the standings. Jacob Markstrom was injured. Brock Besser missed significant time, and they were a team that was competing for the division lead at points this season. Had dropped all the way down to 4th. They were behind Edmonton and Calgary and Vegas. I think they were going to make the playoffs, even under normal circumstances. I think they were going to be a wild card team, but they were really hanging on to their wild card lives at that point in March. Now this allows him to get healthy. Brock Besser fully healed. Jacob Markstrom back. I mean, Markstrom was playing the best hockey of his career before he got injured, so hopefully he comes back at that level. If he does, Vancouver's a very dangerous team. And when you look at Vancouver's lineup on paper, this is not a team that I would want to face in a playoff series. When they're healthy, they are very dangerous. And I think now, possibly Michael Furlan could potentially be back. Now, that's a big question mark. He's had major concussion issues this year. And with his style of play, being a big physical power forward, you do not want to rush him back too early from a head injury. But if he is able to play, then that's even better for Vancouver. That's a huge, playoff style player for them to have in that lineup. And they've obviously got an incredible top 6 with JT Miller and Brock Besser and Bo Horvat and Elias Pettersson and Tyler Toffoli. And I mean, it's just, I could keep going on and on with this Vancouver team. They've got, I think, kind of an underrated solid defense. Defense definitely isn't their super spectacular part of the team, but it's a very solid defense. And then Markstrom, again, being back is huge. So Vancouver just getting healthy again, having this time to rest up and get healthy, I think that's absolutely huge for them and going to potentially pay big-time dividends come playoff time this year. So those are 5 teams that I just really think have benefited from having this time off, and whether it's just breaking bad momentum or whether it's getting healthy and having injured players able now to come back, because it's been what, half of March, April, May, June, July, maybe half. You're looking at 4 months or so of time off. That really is kind of hitting the reset button, getting a fresh start, and that could be a really good thing for some of these teams in the 2014 format going forward. So with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.